The Visa Bulletin is America's most stressful waiting game. A monthly list from the U.S. Department of State that tells millions if it's finally their turn for a green card. Imagine you've applied for a green card. You get a priority date, your ticket number, and then you wait. And wait. Congress sets strict limits, but demand is massive. There are categories for family and skilled workers, plus per-country limits. If you're from a high-demand country like India or China, your wait could be decades. The Visa Bulletin decides if a doctor can start work, or if a daughter can finally reunite with her parents. It's not just a document, it's a monthly cliffhanger for millions. For those waiting, it's the only thing that matters. So, why is the October Visa Bulletin such a big deal? October marks the start of the U.S. government's fiscal year. A fresh batch of green cards becomes available. Think of it as immigration's New Year's Day. The supply is refilled, and everyone's watching to see how much progress will be made. By September, the previous year's numbers are usually gone, and the lines stop moving. October brings hope for real change. This is when we see the biggest jumps in the waiting lines, if they happen at all. The October 2025 Bulletin is especially important after years of pandemic chaos and backlogs. It sets the tone for the entire year. A strong start means progress. A slow start means more frustration. For families and workers stuck in the backlog, this is the most important news of the year. They'll be refreshing their browsers, calling lawyers, and analyzing every date. The October Bulletin is the season premiere of a show you can't turn off. And for many, it's the only hope for change. Family-based categories are meant to reunite loved ones, but often keep them apart for years, or even decades. This October, the F2A category, spouses and minor children of green card holders, might finally see real movement. Dates could jump forward, offering relief to thousands. But for F1, F3, and F4, the backlog is still measured in decades. The number of visas is far less than the demand, and Congress hasn't updated quotas in ages. For most, October brings a glimmer of hope, but mostly, it's more of the same. Now let's talk about employment-based categories. The path for skilled workers, from engineers to doctors. For most of the world, the EB1 and EB2 categories are expected to move forward quickly. If you're a scientist from Germany or Brazil, your wait could be short. But if you're from India or China, the story is bleak. The backlog for Indian nationals in EB2 and EB3 is now over a century long. That's right, a century. You could apply today, and your great-grandchildren might get the green card. The October Bulletin won't change this much. Dates might inch forward, but the country caps keep most applicants locked out. It's like being at a buffet, but only allowed a crumb every hour. Highly skilled professionals work in the U.S. for decades, pay taxes, raise families, but have no clear path to permanent residency. The October reset gives a sliver of hope, but the reality is harsh. The system punishes people based on their country of birth. For most, the wait is endless. The system is deeply flawed, and the October Bulletin is a reminder of that. For a lucky few, there's progress. For many, it's just another year in line, and the line keeps getting longer. The October reset sounds relaxing, but in immigration, it's anything but. It's the annual restock of visa numbers, a flood of new green cards that can cause dramatic shifts in the waiting lines. Imagine a dam opening for a moment, letting out a surge of new visas. This is when the biggest jumps in priority dates usually happen. But predicting those jumps is tricky. Move the dates too far, and the system runs out of visas early, causing chaos later. That's called retrogression, a nightmare for everyone. The reset is a delicate balancing act. Officials must estimate demand, account for unused visas, and try not to overpromise. For October 2025, they'll be looking at mountains of pending applications, trying to move the line just enough. For those waiting, this is the moment of truth. It can bring elation or deep disappointment. The October reset is high stakes and anything but soothing. To understand the drama of October, let's look at the past. The Visa Bulletin has a history of wild swings, sometimes moving forward by years, sometimes slamming into reverse. Remember Visagate in July 2007? The government made thousands of categories current, then yanked it back 2 weeks later, causing chaos and lawsuits. Or the post-pandemic era, when unused family visas were added to the employment quota, creating a once-in-a-lifetime surplus. Dates jumped forward by years, then quickly froze again. These moments show how fragile the system is. Administrative errors, policy changes, or global events can cause wild fluctuations. A big jump forward doesn't mean the problem is solved. It can be a temporary blip before the long wait resumes. As we look to October 2025, history reminds us, expect the unexpected. The Visa Bulletin is unpredictable, and nothing is guaranteed until you have that green card in hand. Hope for progress, but be prepared for anything. The past is full of surprises, and so is the Bulletin. Stay alert and don't get too comfortable. Behind every chart and date are real people, families separated for years, workers stuck in limbo, children aging out of the system. A slow-moving bulletin means a husband and wife living on different continents, or a U.S. citizen unable to bring elderly parents to care for them. For workers, it means being tied to one employer, unable to change jobs or start a business. Children brought to the U.S. legally can lose their status at 21 if the wait drags on. The emotional toll is huge. Constant anxiety, depression, and a sense of powerlessness. Financial planning is impossible, and travel is risky. The Visa Bulletin isn't just numbers. It's a monthly judgment on millions of lives. The human cost is incalculable. Every month, hope and disappointment cycle again. The system's flaws are felt in real homes every single day. And still, people wait. Facing this system, it's easy to feel helpless. But there are ways to cope and prepare. Stay informed, but don't obsess. Check the bulletin monthly, not hourly. Use trusted sources and immigration attorneys to understand what the changes mean for you. Keep your documents ready. If your date is close, be prepared to act fast. Talk to a good immigration lawyer. They can help you explore every possible option, including cross-chargeability or alternative categories. Don't try to DIY this process. Expert advice can save years of waiting. Manage your expectations and take care of your mental health. Find support groups and connect with others in the same situation. Advocate for change. Contact your elected officials and share your story. The system won't change unless Congress hears from those affected. Your voice matters, even if it feels small. Together, enough voices can make a difference. Don't give up hope, and don't go through it alone. The wait is hard, but you're not powerless. As we look to the October 2025 Visa Bulletin, we're left with hope, anxiety, and frustration. We hope for big jumps in the dates, but know the system is fundamentally broken. The predictions, modest gains for some, gridlock for others, are just guesses. The real problem is simple demand far outstrips supply, and the rules are outdated. Yet people waiting in this system show incredible resilience and patience. They follow the rules, contribute to their communities, and keep the dream alive. But real change won't come from obsessing over charts. It will come from demanding reform. Congress must update quotas, eliminate per-country caps, and create a fair system. Until then, we'll keep waiting, hoping, and pushing for a better future. Check the bulletin, but let's also fight for a system that doesn't require this much pain.